Hello everyone, welcome back to Idle Zeros. We are on the Star Alchemist Holmes Young account today. And today, as you could probably just tell by the title and or thumbnail, what we're doing is we are going to cover our Vanquisher clear. We are now officially in Dominator, which is quite nice. We're not close to making a scratch on it, unfortunately. I'll show you what we're doing, but it's not good. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's bad. But to be honest, Vanquisher is, I think, pretty decent for our purposes here. So I'm just going to be happy with that. And it's going to be good and cool and fun and stuff. We get an active from Holmes Young, who can't land a singular dove, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so basically I spent like 15,000 gems doing this. And we just straight up don't have the power needed to clear this. There's a death there. We can't take Garuda actives anymore, which is sad. But it is what it is. But so basically today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you clips from our Vanquisher clear. They're actually clips from just our Vanquisher 1 clear, because I originally just had a video where I would record Vanquisher 1 and react to it. But that video, even though we were only clearing 5 stages, was still 40 minutes long. So we're chopping it down some. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. And this is going to be the first stage we did. No Garudas here. But Drake is usually quite scary for us. Because the defense down just basically hinders the efficacy of the shield that we get from the fan. But it worked out for us, clearly. Belrain gets the perceptual disorder most often because she is the highest attack, funnily enough. I bet that was deliberate on their part, to make it so that we target the most useless hero imaginable when one of your skills goes for the enemy with the highest attack or something like that. So congratulations, DH Games. You made it even more annoying. Good job. But outlasting here, you'll notice a trend is that these fights last for an eternity. Yeah, this is actually nothing compared to one of the fights. Just round 12 is actually kind of short compared to one of them, which is pretty cool. The round 14 win there. Belrain doing the most damage. I believe that's because perceptual disorder damage that they do to their own team is also counted in that calculation. Here we'll move on to the 4th planet of Vanquisher. I'm still rocking the fan. We actually change our setup from 1 or 2 planets to go full offensive. We use melodic strings, and we change to the holy damage stone. A little bit wild, but basically the amount of damage we do is kind of irrelevant. The only thing that matters is if we have the proper RNG to actually just control their entire team. Because even if we only take away 1% of their health bars each round, if they can't do anything to us, well, we win. So that's basically our win condition. And then obviously we can't win in Dominator because they do stuff to us. Or rather, they do enough to us, even when most of them are controlled, that we just can't survive. So that hurts my feelings a little bit. One thing I've noticed is that Star Alchemist Holmes doesn't actually mind waves that have lots of carries in them, because they obviously don't punch through our shields very often. They just aren't damage dealing units. And when we're a sustained team and we can't have our shields punched through, it's just a matter of time before we eventually deal enough damage to kill them. So there's planet 4. Here is the 3rd planet in the row. We've got Drake again, which is usually quite scary, as I mentioned. We're going up against Russell, who is sort of like the discount Garuda for these. I find him a little bit less scary than Garuda is. But when the Dazzle lands on us, it's a little bit unfortunate. We tend not to mind, though. Something we also tend not to mind is that carry drains our energy. The funny thing is that as long as we're faster, our final passive will make it so that we can actually purify any sort of mark that is on us, including the devouring mark that drains our energy. And after doing that, gives ourselves 100 energy and guarantees us an active skill. So Star Alchemist Holmes is friggin' awesome. And then he just forces an active out, even when he's not winning. Very cool hero. But here we go again, outlasting the enemy. Double perceptual disorder. There we go. Round 9 victory. Cool. Moving on. This is the second to last planet that we have. Russell just killing us. But this is a triple carry wave. And for this one, we switched to full damage. And that was just our win condition, really. I tried this with Fan, and it didn't work out super well. This obviously looks scary on the offset, but our damage also accumulated much, much faster. Lion coming in to give us some protection. Almost dead. But we aren't. Forcing out an active skill, perceptual disorder on both. Very nice. You notice I took out my regular Holmes Young. He was just failing to get his doves off. Because of when there's this much energy drain, it's just difficult. And now, lucky viewers, you get to watch this fight, which goes on for, I believe, 22 rounds. So it sure drags on, but we eventually do succeed in clearing it. Just a matter of time of killing them in a relatively even distribution, such that they all die at approximately the same time, so that they don't cause themselves to revive. Round 21, round 22, and this is going to be it for us. There we go. That'll take us to the last planet, which is right here. It's a Garuda stage, double carry, with Drake. So this is actually one of the scariest stages we can have. And we use the melodic strings offensive setup again. I know what you're thinking. If melodic strings has this much success, why not just use this on all the stages? And I tried that, but it just doesn't work out for some. And believe me, I've had plenty of time to test, because I spent probably, well, you might have seen in the beginning, I had like 100 or so of the energy burners, many of which were spent on attempts, many of which also spent it on rerolling. The carries there draining the Garuda's energy and saving us. But that's going to be the Vanquisher clear right here. Very cool. Very, very cool. Love to see it. And then, just for proof, there's the transition from Vanquisher to Dominator. And then I wasted 15,000 gems on energy burners trying to reroll, because I just used all of our signets on a single stage. But that's going to be that. We need to restart the game now, because it timed out, but that's okay. But yeah, so now we can smash to Dominator, and then we can try to clear it, or at least beat a planet every Vortex time after this. And when we're strong enough to clear some, I will make another video on Vortex on the Sahi account. But until that point, I see no reason to. We cleared depth 4 relatively easily, so I expect to clear depth 5 with similar ease as well. The next plans for the account, we just need to wait till we get 5 million crystals of transcendence, when we can build hyperspace on Drylamok. We need a high attack set on him, and we got one. So that's quite nice. The build list is looking like Sihu. As you can see, we're going to want 2 at least on the account, because we're going to be a block team, basically. I mentioned in the last video that Geister intrigues me, because if we come over here, I think they did a good job on his art. Anyway, I think the animations are quite smooth. He might be a terrible hero, but I at least enjoy looking at him. Where is it? Maybe here? I bet it's the active skill. Yeah, the virulent toxin. Detonates all layers of target's poison and burn. If this ability carries over to his transcendent version, this means that we have a way of getting around enemies that purify the poison, because as of now in campaign, I can just show you. I can't just show you because this is messed up. Oh, I can just show you. Okay. If you come over campaign, looks pretty good right there. I'm not really sure what Fiona's ability is, but I suspect it has something to do with Wire Shield just gets destroyed at the very end there, which means so does our damage reduction. But if you look one more time, you'll notice that the dots all leave above their health bars when a round ends. So they purify that, which means we do about a sixth of the damage from poison that we usually do. Which also means that our giant killer, well, his damage is doubled from having that stat. It is then divided by 6. So that sucks a lot. We got some hollow bonuses here. So thank you to these people. But yeah, I don't see us clearing anytime soon, actually. Which feels really bad, but it is what it is. But yeah, with Transgeester, if that ability comes, our damage will suddenly go through the roof. So if that does happen to be the case, we might build him as our third trans hero because we obviously need I want to fully go for full tank mode, and we need HHA to do that. Plus HHA is a tenant, and I believe Sahi's trans tenant slots are full, so the odds of Transgeester being a tenant are slim. Yeah, 2 trans tenants in tenant spot 2 and 4. Maybe he'll be added. Maybe they'll add trans tenants to tenant spots 1 and 3. That would be cool. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think Geester will just be added to the more recent Transcendence heroes instead. But I can hope anyway. But that's about all. Shorter video today compared to some of my more recent ones. But I appreciate you watching through. Have a good day, everyone.